All right, boys. Welcome back to another episode of Podium Talk. We got a special one for you today. We brought on a guest to help us preview the upcoming Collegiate Championship meet, and that is Doug Doesn't Lift, aka Grayson Duggar. And he came on, and it was a real fun one, real fun podcast, and I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to Podium Talk. All right, boys, welcome back to another episode of Podium Talk. We got the normal crew, and we're joined by a special guest, Grayson Duggar from Georgia Tech. Well, just introduce yourself first, and we'll get into it.
What's up, guys? My name is Grayson. I'm 20 years old. I'm a second year mechanical engineering student at Georgia Tech. I'm pretty big into powerlifting. 100 kilogram lifter. I'm competing, let's see, from today, 1 week from today, I think, if I can count my days right. So competing 1 week from today at the Georgia Collegiate
Championship.
Championship.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you got it right.
So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's me.
Yeah, that's wild. I'm actually a mechanical engineer too. I did not pick that up earlier.
Nice.
I was
So,
about to
I've
say
known you
Eli and
for a
Grayson are the
while. I
same
never knew
person.
that.
well, yeah, I say it all the time. You just don't listen. But yeah, so let's just go through like a little recap of what we've been doing. We kind of do it every episode. We'll start with Tony because it's the happiest. How's it been going, Tony?
It's been all right. I mean, I don't. Yeah, like mine is definitely the least eventful. I just been chilling and training, and it's been good. I mean, I don't got nothing to jump up and down about, but I don't got nothing to cry about. So I'm gonna let Avery go because he's the
Cool.
important one.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just got back from Orlando today from the Olympia, and it was a rough meet. But when you're almost kilos down from the class, that's how these things tend to go. But actually, as things got rolling, I wasn't too mad with how squat played out, with how my prep and everything went. Like my third felt heavy, but like I felt like I should have got it, and my hips just shot back, and that was wraps on that. And on bench, I think things just how everything felt out. I don't really like tremble with the bar in my hands too often, but I felt like I was really shaky all day with the bar in my hands. So that played out. But I mean, got a cool 325 on my second. I had to like bench the same thing as Tony, unfortunately, but we'll let it slide for another one. We will let it slide because we're basically the same body weight, unfortunately. And with how everything played up to that point, deadlifts didn't really make me feel too much worse, but I only got one attempt because I threw my second at the ground like a chump. And on the third, like it was actually moving pretty solid. It wasn't any like PR territory, but my deadlifts are actually not too consistent. So when the way it moved like that, I felt good, but it just rolled out of my hand and actually like cracked my nail and everything. I don't know how it did that, but tough day. It was actually the first time I never like did it improve my total, and it actually went down by like 20 in 8 months. So really shaking that off at a big scene, national judges everywhere, but not too mad. I got to spend time with some good people, everything. But on to the next.
The only thing I'm going to mention about the Olympia was how bad the live stream was and how I tried to watch and then it cut instantly and got to see none of it.
Well, I think like just to speak on that real quick, because I don't want it to be like too slanderous. I think some things played out how like the typical people who bring or what like whoever brings their own Wi-Fi to like to do the live stream on didn't
Mhm.
happen, and with everything going on at the Olympia Expo, it just ended up being horrendous. Like yeah, I watched it last night, and it like I didn't see any of my flight's thirds.
Mhm.
Didn't see the second or third bench, I believe, and skipped right into deadlift, and it was choppy throughout. But I mean, I think it was just unfortunate how everything played out. But in a normal situation, when you've got your live stream and everything, it'd probably been fine.
Yeah. But as far as I go, we've had setbacks, a lot of them, 4 weeks out. just trying to be better, put something on the board, stepping stone to get to nationals eventually.
Did we
That's all I got.
we missed a whole lot of lifts I didn't know about?
No? Well,
Oh, okay.
not recently, maybe.
My fault.
But let's go to like one of the stronger lifters in the conversation. So you're a week out, Grayson. How has prep been going? How are you feeling? What should be expecting?
Hey, you don't have to like
No,
empty
you
the
don't have to
clip
spoil
and
anything.
play
Just
all
how
your
you
cards
feeling.
at all. Just
Personally, I don't care whether or not people know what I want to do or how I think I'm going to do. Prep was going excellent until I hit my heavy singles last Saturday, and I missed my top squat at 639. It was really close. I had a little misgroove, talked that one out, and I wasn't too upset about it because it was still 15 kilos more than I'd put on my back ever.
Mhm.
Squat's been through the roof for me recently, but I had a triple after for back downs, and the clip wasn't on the one side of the bar. So when I walked out, started sliding off, and
Mm.
I don't know if any of y'all have lifted at DNA strength,
we have. Or
but
Everybody
I
except
was
me.
on that I was on that combo rack that's right against the wall. And so the plates were sliding off onto one of my friends spotting me against the wall, and I'm like, wow, my friend is about to get crushed between a lot of weight and a wall, and that's not a good thing. So I tried really hard to like readjust the bar on my back, and I tweaked a little bit of my lower back doing that. So that has thrown things for quite the loop. I think that I'm still going to be 95 to 100% for the meet. I'm hoping I will be. I've been cutting back on load and volume to accommodate for this, a lot of rehab stuff, make sure I have plenty of blood flow in my back to try to get things better. And it hasn't affected bench or deadlift, which is good. It's mainly squat. So squat is a little bit of a coin toss for me right now. I actually just got back from the gym. I just hit my, I guess, like deload slash taper singles, and it was a really clean 545. So I was pretty happy with that. And let's see, I hit a 381 bench on my heavy singles Saturday and 705 deadlift, which was really cool.
it was really cool.
I was really happy about it. It kind of sucks. I had to wait about an hour for the platform, but we take those. 705 is still 705. I'm looking to add I want 6 reds at the competition. I want to pull 325. 716 is my number. I don't know if I'm sure most of y'all or all of y'all know Ethan Stone, and my programming is a collaborative effort between me and him. And we talked about it, and I said, unless I have broken bones or my back snapped in half, I'm taking 325 for my last attempt on deadlift, and I don't think he cares. So that's what I'm rolling with. Looking to survive bench with 3 for 3. Don't know what that's going to be. I'm going to take what's there. And then squat, I would love to get back to 285 or 290, 628, 639, but I'll see what happens. And if I can go 9 for 9, it should put me in a pretty good position to be within the top 3 lifters at the meet, which is pretty cool, and qualify for CNATs, which is the ultimate goal.
Sure.
Your QT for CNATs is like what, 730? Something like that?
The QT, if you are, because they changed the
Individual.
QT system,
Yeah. We talked
if
about
I
it
was
a little bit.
individual, it would be 735, which
Yeah.
is not bad. I hit 740 at my last meet, so I should be pretty safe as long as, especially as much as my squat is blown up. I hit 578 at my last meet, and that is just a pretty comfortable, maybe even last warm up for me. And even if I'm hurt, I think I can still PR on squat at the meet and then do whatever I need on bench and deadlift to even get that like lone wolf individual qualifying total.
Exactly.
but the problem with those the individual is you're technically, I don't think you're guaranteed registration because people that are lifting as part of a team have priority. So I think I'm going to be just slotted in as a team lifter regardless. And then
But your goal neither way, to be honest. So
Yeah. Which I mean, that's most of the people I've talked to's goal is to hit that individual, even though they're a part of the
right.
team, just to be
Yeah,
that next
right.
rank of lifter. But as we go into so obviously GT barbell, tell us a little bit about that and the environment up there with your people.
As far as GT barbell goes, I am somewhat removed from the community as a whole, mainly because the big thing that happens is team practices on Sundays, and I go to church on Sundays, so there's a pretty big conflict there. And
Yeah.
my religion, powerlifting, religion
Yeah.
trumps, and so I go to church. So I'm still pretty involved socially, just because big strong guy. He knows what he's doing and he's cool because he's strong. That's kind of where a lot of the validation in a lifting club comes from.
yeah.
So that's kind of how it is. But
Yeah.
the people are awesome. Great community of folks, and a lot of my good friends are there, and I think powerlifting is a great way to. It's a great sport to get into, just if you're generally athletic. Here's a cool competitive outlet that you can get into. And recently I got my roommate into doing powerlifting stuff, so yeah, it's cool. But GT barbell is a good place. I'm not super involved as far as the team practice stuff goes, but other than that, I'm, I guess, pretty well into the loop. But got a lot of people competing at this meet in a week, and we got a lot of people competing at a Southeastern Collegiate Championship in
Yeah.
January. So I think that our folks competing are gonna put up some pretty nasty numbers.
Do you know about how many people total y'all got in GT barbell, and then how many people do you think are probably going to be aiming to go to CNATs? I'm just curious.
Our GT Barbell is a club that is, I guess, divided into there's different subsections within the club, you could say, because it encompasses all of lifting, and powerlifting is just a discipline within that. So there are
Okay,
some
I
people
got
who
you.
are mainly powerlifters, mainly bodybuilders. I don't know how many total people that we have that I would say fall within this powerlifting category, but I think we're looking to um because with the new national qualifying totals, they it's 12 men and 12 women that you can have on your team, and no more than two in each weight class. We're definitely looking to either have 11 or 12 men, and then on the women's side, I think that we probably should have 7 or 8. So
At
I'd
CNET?
say women, maybe. I think so.
No, that's pretty. I mean, that's pretty great. No,
That's
That's
insane. Damn, dude. I
so.
mean, I guess I'm just used to Eagle Power because they got like I don't know, like
shade. It's crazy.
But
It
let's
was a
hold on. Let
joke.
me.
You got 13 Georgia Tech people at this meet coming up next week. So I mean that's pretty crazy.
Okay. Trying to think. I think, yeah, we're probably gonna send 20. If everybody does good, that's because you can look at someone's Instagram and then see what happened at the meet, and it's two totally different things, and
Yeah.
so
yeah, all of us are victim.
yeah.
No, I mean, I think I'm as a gym warrior as it comes. So
Mm.
Well, Eli's not a gym warrior. I mean, I don't.
Nah. I don't think I've really hit anything in the gym that's impressive. I only hit it on the platform, but I just don't go on the platform enough, you know. Whew. But yeah, I
Uh,
mean, being in Atlanta, obviously part of GT, but just that Atlanta atmosphere of having all those gyms to go to. I mean, looking in from the outside, you know, commercial gym, me and Avery, it looks like it's a lot of fun out there, and it looks like y'all are having a great time. Y'all are progressing through the roof, and that's really fun to see. And that's what I'm really looking forward to this meet, seeing all that come to the platform from many people.
bro, you're literally up there.
I'm up there because you're
Yes.
in Florida. I'm still an hour and something away.
You're all the way up there. But nah, yeah. I'm jealous
It
of all y'all.
happens.
I wish I was up there and like going to those different gyms and stuff and
Mm.
actually knowing like I don't know what's going on like up there because I feel like there's a lot of good stuff, between yeah, like Avery said, like the clubs, like the banter and everything. So yep.
The banter's really fun. I think everybody knows it's pretty surface level. I hope that they know it's pretty surface level. If they don't, then their feelings are getting hurt for no reason, which I guess that's kind of their fault. But yeah, I like the banter. Pretty much what inspired me to make that like big breakdown document that I did. Is like, oh,
Mhm.
this is cute. I don't know, see who's actually better because
Mhm.
I didn't
Yeah.
really know, and I'm sure everybody wanted to know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I
Yeah. I was
ran
just
through
gonna
your case
say.
study.
Yeah. Well, we
it's a
didn't
case
mention
Georgia Tech.
that.
study
Yeah. The whole reason we brought Grayson on here was because he came up with a very detailed like list of athletes from Kennesaw State University and athletes from Georgia Tech, and he put them side by side and compared them all and analyzed every single athlete. Even had some extra honorable mentions, and I saw that and I was like, "Geez, this guy, this guy's very wrapped up into it." So I was like, "We need him to, yeah, bring all this knowledge to the podcast." So, yeah, no, that was super impressive. I am that kind of in itself excited me for the meet even more. Whereas before I was kind of like, whatever, who cares? But after seeing that, it was pretty. Yeah, no, it definitely builds up hype.
for sure. I think that everybody thinks that it was super detailed, and it's like, oh my gosh, you did all this and all that research, and it was not so much like taking a deep dive and analyzing how they're doing on this lift. It was more so see see what you can find on their lifting cast, see what you can find on the open powerlifting. Do they have an Instagram? And it's I think a lot of people appreciate it because it I put the data side by side and you can
Mhm.
see how people stack up to against one another and you can see all of it at once, which is really convenient. So
Yeah, no, for
um
sure. I was about to say, like, not even just us. Like, I saw a good amount of like a couple of lifters uh shared when you did it because it was really cool. But I mean, honestly, like, I think our state is pretty bad about like there are other states where like even if it's just the USAPL like state page or if it's a gym page, like there's a more coverage into the meets and it just plays out where more people are interested in those meets, So
For sure. No, I mean, I mean, literally, like I said, like I wasn't really worried about this meet like whatsoever because I was thinking about like CNATs. I was like, I think everybody's gonna want to do CNATs anyways. But just from seeing, yeah, like Bryce post about whatever and like seeing Joel talk about y'all and then seeing y'all talk about like the memes and shit, like that shit was like
yeah,
funny to me. It was really funny. So now I guess you guys got to back it up and I don't know, see what actually happens on what is it, November 11th?
11th
Yeah,
and 12th,
Okay.
both of them.
yeah, that's one thing. We were
Yeah.
trying to look
I
all
was
over everywhere. It's not on Instagram anywhere. No one's reposting the meet or like posting this is when it's at. the USAPL website says 2 sessions on Saturday. Nothing about the third session. It's just, I hate it. They need to cover it, but I guess that's our job now to cover that. So I guess we can dive into it a little bit. I mean, I guess we can let you start us off with, who do you like to see from Georgia Tech? Who are you looking at most here?
Oh man, the most slept on powerlifter in this Georgia collegiate circuit is, in my opinion, without a doubt, Jacob Hembry. Incredible. I think that right now, and I said this a little bit in my Kennesaw State versus Georgia Tech breakdown, but so also as a precursor to this, I'm not talking about Ethan pretty much at all here because he's graduating in December, not going to be at CNATS. Kind of throws him out of the equation. Now, he would be a big player in this if he were still around, but for the most part, not really. I think that Kyle White is right here, and then there's a decent margin until you get to the next echelon of people, I guess you could say. But I think Jacob Hembry is the number 2 guy and the closest to getting where Kyle is at. But nobody knows about him. Super underground. And he, even within GT Barbell, people know him, but he's pretty removed with the exception of going to team practice. Like if you go find his Instagram, you might see his top doubles from a month ago, but I don't even think he's posted his singles. Everything's just super, and I don't think it's he's trying to gatekeep things. It's just that's his nature. I think he does hold powerlifting pretty importantly because he's really good. He has a coach. He's part of Live Fueled. But I don't think it's the be all end all thing for him. And so he just, it's something that he really enjoys and he puts time and effort into, but it's not the one thing that, oh my gosh, I have to go on my Instagram and post 5 stories a day about my lift and the 4 accessories I did and what RP they were at and oh how my tech was so bad right here. He just goes on, puts some stuff out. He's into he plays the drums, killer drummer, but he'll sometimes mix some music that he produced into his clips, and it's super awesome. But definitely Jacob Hembry's my number 1 guy to look out for. And another one I want to shout out as a totally broke out onto the scene flaming hot out of nowhere is Ivan Liu. He is a freshman 75 kilo lifter at Georgia Tech. And sorry, JI from UGA, I'm calling you out. You're getting beat in a week. This kid is unreal. And unless okay, sorry. If they both go 9 for 9, Jazz getting beat by this kid.
Hey, I love the energy, but no,
Yeah,
I did peep him. He's a very strong kid, man.
He's crazy. He is, from what I've seen, he's had the highest strength baseline of anybody I've ever seen coming through here. And previous to him, it was probably me, Ethan, or Jacob, but he's like, we're all, kind of right in here, and he's a step above just coming in, and he's still making progress like crazy. But yeah, 75 kilo lifter. He had a 500 squat, and it was tough, but it was clean, depth really good. Hit a pretty clean 320 bench, looked like a little bit left in the tank, and a 572 pull that, with a little bit of technical, work it out, put 5 reds on the bar, clip it, your collar. He's got the strength for it. A little bit of technical work needs to be done, but crazy. So yeah, I don't know if that's a hot take for the meet or not. It might
Hey,
be.
no,
If it is, that would be my hot take for the meet.
no,
Um,
we need to be able to have hot takes about meats. I mean, hey, it's more stuff to talk about, man.
yeah, it makes things fun, and I'll put another one out here. Gonna out dots Bryce. That might not. I don't. That's
Okay.
probably just a pretty fair take because we're both on a really even level. But I just want to say
Mhm.
that for I hope he sees this and give him a little bit of competitive fire because I love having like guys like him, Hembry, Ethan, Kyle, Chidera, Tony, this like the guys that are my age in this sort of collegiate level that are at the top that it because it pushes me to be better too. Because
Mhm.
I gotta keep with the times.
Wait, is Bryce? There's no way Bryce is a full 110, is he? He's got to be like,
No,
Dude,
no.
he's
yeah.
he's pretty massive though. So I see him every week. He's probably going to be 233, 235. Like bro's making
Yeah.
me feel small walking the halls every day. So
No,
Yeah.
he's got a big frame. He's always been like that. But I think you can like when you look at his legs, you can tell for a 110 he's not fully framed out.
it's just
But
because of
Right.
how
his
tall he
but
is.
his squat's coming around too, and that bench exploded, man.
No,
So
yeah, I was about to say, Grayson, what are you talking about? Like, you're definitely gonna. And then I remembered he benched 440.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So
then you remember he benches 200 and it's like, holy crap, this guy's unreal. Yeah, it's
yeah,
insane. I
because I
mean,
didn't know
gosh,
he could do that. Yeah,
I mean, I feel like he's
that
had
was
so
I
much
crazy.
don't think
potential.
I don't think he knew he could do that. I think it was like one of those phenomenal days, like.
No, that was stupid. When I saw that, I was like,
It also moved well, so I'm not saying it's like tapped out, you know. So
Hmm.
I mean,
Bryce
same with
Bryce is oh wait, you got it.
I was just gonna say, I mean, dude, I think everything he's probably gonna do better at the meet than he did at the training, because his deadlift even. I remember at one point his deadlift was like going like I was like, this guy is like can pull whatever. So I don't know. I mean, maybe yeah, that battle. I guess the dots, like you were saying, is I'm definitely looking. That's what I'm looking at. I'm excited for that. That's
no,
fun.
that's it. I mean, that's the good nature of like. I know I wasn't always like super fond of like how attached like everyone would be to their clubs necessarily, or but like just the culture it creates from everyone wanting to compete against each other. Like if you gave it like just 3 years, I'm sure you could like visibly see how that played out and made people want to get better. And I mean, like what you really want for the sport ultimately is kids, people around that age to get into it and really like the feeling of being an athlete or like you know like just like a job or whatever, see a pathway or organization or whatever it is.
There is one thing that I want to mention really quick before we get too far into the rest of things. GT barbell girl Juliet Hartman competed at the Olympia this past weekend. 8 for 9 meet, 450 dots, 200 kilo pull as at 71 kilos. Unreal. She has the national record for deadlift at 67.5. But yeah, she's absolutely tearing it up. And I wanted to shout that out really quick. 167.5 squat, 82.5 bench, and 200 kilo pull. And let me do some math real quick.
Yeah,
Those are all comp PRs by
200.
at least. Oh wait, the deadlift was chipped, so it's not quite a 10-pound PR,
Hmm.
but or 5 kilo PR, but the others are all at least 5 kilo PRs, which is just crazy.
no,
Absolutely
I'm glad
nuts.
you did shout her out because I know I'm pretty sure like it was you had to have a certain dots to sign up for this meet, and I believe she like closed out her flight for deadlifts.
She did. She
Yeah,
did.
like so to do that on a big stage is phenomenal, dude.
It's
So
Hmm.
nuts. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there were a lot of older people there competing, weren't there? I would
Yeah, yeah, for
guess. Yeah, and I mean, she's only 21, getting to compete at a stage like that, crazy.
Wait, what's her weight class again?
She
67.
competes at, or well, she competed at CNATs at 67.5, but since the Olympia was dots only, I think she just went in as whatever, and she weighed 71.43.
Dude, I mean, that's insane. Yeah. Pulling 441.
Crazy,
I didn't know. I never
crazy.
Yeah, I never heard of her before. So that's like I'm glad you shouted her out because now I
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's sick. I didn't even know a girl was in college walking around pulling 440. So
Yeah, pulling American record in Georgia. Crazy.
Mhm.
no,
oh,
like
that was an American record?
Her pull at CNATs was.
Oh,
It was a collegiate record. Yeah.
damn. Good for
yeah,
her, man.
no,
I'm jealous.
not
At
no.
wait,
I mean,
at
that's
Big
fire.
Lifty. At Big Lifty. There's Instagram.
Nah,
It's not that hard. Figure it out. Yeah,
shout her out for sure.
for sure.
Yeah,
But
that's one thing with this new rise of collegiate meets is that we're getting to see a lot more people. I know I complain a lot in our group chat to Avery about the placement of these meets and where they're scheduled and how it's taken away from other meets. But we are getting to see people that would normally just wait to compete, go out and compete with their friends.
right.
But I guess we can take it session by session. We don't necessarily got to go into everybody, just kind of shout
Yeah,
out
we
people
don't have
we
to break
know.
it down brick by brick, but I do believe this is a nice little roster, and there's a couple people we could talk about.
So I mean, we just start with the ladies, session one. Who'd you see on here, Tony? Anybody you wanna call out?
Well, I don't actually know too many of these girls, or really any of them. But I did notice that there were a lot of 67s there, so kind of want to know who will be able to come out. It looked like slick, like half of them were like 60. Looked like a lot of them. So I mean, I don't know. I know Avery had something to say,
No,
but
I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, it started off. I mean, Jalen Boyles is also with Live Fuel, and pretty. She's pretty damn good. But I don't really think I can like speak on like how her lifts have looked. It looked like she hadn't really like posted anything in the last 3-4 months, like
I know.
too
Oh,
extensively.
I know she posts a lot on her stories. Well, I think, right? And
Yeah, I
but
just
yeah, I was
couldn't
gonna
sit
say
there and remember.
she came fifth at CNATs, and she's now at 52. She was at 56 for collegiate and raw nationals this past, these this September and April. So this will be 52 kilo, I guess, debut, which will be cool to see. I don't know how strength is held up because I looked at stuff, but really the only people where I can recall how their lifts are off the top of my head are like my close friends or
Mhm.
people that there are a couple people I write program for, and so that stuff I can kind of recall quick off the top of my head, but other than that, not really. So, but yeah, I think that would be cool to see 52 kilo debut. I mean, I don't know. I have to look through the list some more to see if there are any other names that like really pop out for women's best lifter, but she very well could win that.
Going through it. That's the thing is, I wish I could talk about. I don't know where Blue Mountain Christian where that Blue Mountain College is from because they actually have a good amount of lifters. But it looked to me, this completely could be bad journalism. It looked like they were coming from like an equip background into Raw. So shout out them, love that. I
Yeah.
No one's gonna listen to this, but I don't necessarily love the equip lifting. So there's that.
Yeah,
yeah,
But
no, he's an elitist. You can say that, bro.
yeah, I mean,
the
like
elitist.
I love anyone who power
He gets it.
lifts, but that's just not my flavor, my fault.
Mhm. I guess we can just shout
But
out all the teams that are actually competing. You got Classic City, Blue Mountain, Georgia Tech. I think we saw some GCSU. I see some North Georgia. You got Emory, KSU, Penn Western. I don't know about that. But yeah, we got some variety up in here.
We got
Good
an
to see.
Auburn.
What?
We got, Yeah, that
There's
kid.
one guy from Auburn I saw. I don't
Trent
know
Yeah,
who it
Williams.
is.
his name's Trent. I actually know about that kid.
I was about to
He's a
say I saw he lifted at DNA with some of the KSU guys, but I don't know who he is.
Oh,
he did.
Penn's competing here.
Yeah, Penn's gonna be there. That's gonna be Penn's debut. So
Shout out
I
to boy. That I
I
that's like the no that's the
I
that's the
highly doubt
collegiate like
director or whatever.
direct
Yeah.
like chapter head or whatever. So
Yeah,
hey, like these things are picking up. Shout out Penn.
it's been a long time in the works because I remember Penn never did like a real meet, but I remember he did that like mock meet like a minute ago.
Mhm.
That was like collegiate focused or whatever. So it's cool that they finally got this meet to go because I'm pretty sure this is like a long time in the works or whatever. Um, but yeah, no, Trent, he did the Trueborn meet. I remember him from that, and he's a pretty I think he's like approaching like a state record on squat or something. So he's pretty good. He should be one of the 82s. I think the 82s are probably going to be pretty interesting to watch too. Actually, I think there's a lot of them there, and then also I think there's like a couple guys that are really close. So, um, yeah, Trent's one of them, and he's from Auburn. The one guy from Auburn, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I believe the other if I had like Hannah Spielman from Georgia Tech. Do you know her Grayson?
She's good. She was going to be probably up in that running for women's best lifter, but she ran into um unless she re-registered, to my knowledge, she's pulled out of the meet, not going to be competing. But
Okay, I was about to say because
yeah,
when I was doing a bit of prep, trying to not get on here and embarrass myself, she looked pretty good. So
she is for sure. She transferred from Purdue last year, and she did a meet up there, and she's got a big pull too. She I think at her last meet went 1 for 3 on deadlifts, but smoked the opener. It was north of 4, but then like mixed grip, callus tears, fun stuff that I
you
don't
know
have to
how
worry
it
about
goes.
because I pull correctly, hook grip all the way. But yeah, so she's good. She'll still qualify for CNATs if that last meet wasn't like didn't count towards it. She'll still definitely qualify, and then she'll hopefully put up a pretty good meet there. She definitely can. She's for sure in a running to, you know, be competitive at that weight class.
Yeah, no, but just like would love to get hot takes off. If we're leaving any women obviously off, please clip us up and expose us because we would
Mhm.
like to cover y'all. And maybe we're just not doing a good part on our end, or maybe that's just
For sure.
Tony.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure like out of the 7 people watching this podcast, I don't think any of them are going to be females. So
It's only serious as you make it, brother. I just wanted to talk.
it's kind
Tony's
of
Tony's a little sexist,
hard for
so
me
it's
to.
all right.
I'll say that here. I am okay. It's okay.
Unless it's IPF world. So I guess we can move into our second session. A few more names we
No,
know off the top of my head. You got Braden Hale, Eagle Power. You got Albazadi coming out there. He's been cooking up something interesting. See if you can put it on the plat. Um, I know Jacob Studdard just competed at the deadlift only meet. Young kid. I know a few names from this, but not
You're
many.
cut. I think you're cutting up pretty decent.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right, so
Eli, you're cutting out like crazy.
I'll parlay that into speaking a little bit. Jordan Howard is the only 56 competing from and I remember he competed at Trueborn and I think he was a solid guy and that was his like debut I believe, so I'll be looking to seeing him compete. And then when you get to 67, I don't really know James Green. I've seen him around. I just saw him around at the Olympia actually, but I don't have too much scouting on that class. But the Dakota Davis, he actually trains at my gym and bodyplex at Georgia College, and I believe he told me he was trying to like get a squat state record, which at like four, I think it's like 455 ish, like the 455 kilo mark for 67. So I'm looking out for that. Eli, can you speak now?
I'm not sure. You know, I'm kind of on my hot spot. How's it sound?
That's
That
better.
sounds better.
Better, better. But yeah, I mean, you got Matthew Albazzati out there, gonna put something interesting on the platform. He's been working. Braden Hale been making some progress. I've been seeing that Eagle Power. Those are kind of the main guys I know from there.
There is a lot of 75, so we do need to cover them a bit.
Oh yeah.
Sequoia Simpson is a pretty strong guy. I'll be looking out for him.
Sequoia is a strong dude. I totally forgot to mention him in that 75 race. That it very well could come down to, I think him, Ji, who's listed as John again in the lifting cast, and Ivan. I think those are the big names that stick out to me immediately. But yeah, Sequoia should not be discounted at all. And I apologize if you do end up watching this for getting discounted. Because yeah, he's strong dude. Got a great bench. Great bench. But yeah.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of names here for 75, but the rest of them don't really pop out to me. So I guess that covers it. Bad journalism. Move on.
Yeah, just keep on moving down the line.
I mean, this is where the meat of the roster is. It looks like so.
Yeah, 75s, 82s are really deep. Let's see. You mentioned Albazati and Braden. Braden's Bryce's brother, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think they're solid guys. I saw Braden compete at States, I believe, or was it States or the Open?
He
It was the
did.
Atlanta Open.
Yes, that's what he did last. And actually, I want to shout out the guy who goes to Georgia College, Joseph Jackson here. This guy's pretty strong. Let me pull him up so I'm not just like glazing unnecessarily.
Okay,
But I think he's got a pretty solid deadlift. I don't know where he's from actually though.
gotcha.
There's another tech boy, Michael
Michael.
Jabara.
I was about to say Michael Jabara will right now, if I had to pick one guy, not biased at all, to win, I'd probably pick him because I don't know enough about the other guys other than Matthew and Braden, which poor journalism according to Avery and poor Instagram documentation on them. So
Hey,
They
I
can't
will
blame them.
always talk trash about those gatekeepers, man. I would love to talk about you, but I know you don't care either. So
But yeah, Mike is he's been on he competed at 75 and he's been going up. So I think initially when you go up, it's hard to fill I well, obviously it's hard to fill out a weight class because gaining weight does that, but it's hard to get your strength to increase or get your dots to kind of, keep on that same track as you're gaining the weight. But he's done a good job of progressing his lifts as like along with his weight because you generally expect your numbers to go up as your weight increases. But on top of this, he's still progressing have as if he is what is as if he was an 82 the entire time. He's still been making that sort of progress, is what I was trying to say, if I can speak correctly.
I can't really
But
find that guy. The guy I'm talking about's only competed once, and what it was like a WRPF or whatever. But
gotcha.
I I tried to find it, but Joseph Jackson's a really common name. I feel so I couldn't really find him.
Hmm.
But yeah, I believe that covered. Y'all mentioned Trent from Auburn, so I believe that covers 82.
Yeah.
So
Go on
we're
to
going.
90.
Yeah, let's go to 90. So this is day
Obvi-
2, right?
no, not yet. I
Day
believe
two,
not. Is
90s,
90 day
90s start
two?
off day two.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, you
Yep.
mentioned Jacob.
He bar injury, he's gonna run away with it.
Yeah, no, he's really strong. I can't remember
He's
what he put up at CNATs, but I believe he did not go into that healthy as well.
he wasn't healthy. He wasn't 100% at CNATs, and he's 100% now. If me, him, and Bryce go 9 for 9 and have the day that we want, he's coming away with best lifter. That's
Wow.
that he's good. He's right on that fringe 500 dots almost. I don't know if he's there. If he's not, it's really close though.
Wait,
With
so
a with a 9 for 9 day.
do you know his lifts? Like top of your
He let's see. I don't want to say like a whole lot without, him not being here to back up or not back up, whatever. But his squat and deadlift are about the same, and he's at that like 640 mark on both of them. Maybe a little more on deadlift.
No,
Maybe
massive, big squat, but
crazy squat,
but
and it's beautiful to watch too.
Big muscular dude.
Yeah.
Like so. Yeah, no, like yeah, no. I don't even know what to say. Actually, it sounds like I'm crazy glazing right now. So
No,
shout out, bro.
Jacob looks like a.
No, someone had to say that for sure.
Jacob is built like a freaking man. Gosh, he just jacked, straight jacked. And to quote Avery, I'm straight glazing, man. But he's insane, and like I said, awesome dude too. Really, and I'm super excited to see him compete. We currently have a $1 bet going on
$1
for dots at this competition. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I don't like my odds, but I'm not the biggest fan of my odds because he's nuts. But yeah, and then Kaiser's one of my buds. He's looking to qualify for collegiate nationals at this meet. He's plagued a little bit by some questionable programming. If the guy that's writing his program sees this, then oops. But in my opinion, some questionable programming. But I think he's a strong dude. Hope he qualifies. He's my bud. But I don't know too much about these other people. I'm going to be honest. It's
the names really aren't that familiar. I know this Sims Drush guy goes to Georgia College as well. He's not up there with Jacob, but he'll probably squat mid fives. He might bench 363. He's a bit of a subtotal guy, but he's a strong guy. So
gotcha.
That's cool. I did not know that. Yeah, I noticed he was from Georgia Coastal, but I didn't know he
Georgia College, bro.
Georgia College, and right where Avery's from.
University, bro.
That's disrespectful. Wow.
I definitely said Coastal, and that's in Brunswick. My bad. Hey, should I just leave? Should I just go?
Yeah, just get out of here, dude.
Nah, but yeah, I believe that covers 90. So on to the big dogs over here, man.
Yeah, a lot more names
I don't
here
know
that I
anybody in
recognize. Obviously, we have the winner.
Yeah, I recognize
first.
a few of these guys.
Well, I actually didn't get up these other the names look familiar, but obviously Grayson right here. He's probably not going to do very much in the class, so there's that.
He's gonna go have a day, I don't know Brooks from Kennesaw, but I've seen Jason Cantrell, seen him out there. Obviously, I said Jacob stuttered. He's just a young kid. He's gonna go out there and do something, nothing too much. I mean, it's a right away.
And then this Owen guy from Athens is a private, so I can't see anything.
Owen, I lifted with Owen a good bit over the summer because the internship I worked at, he lives close by, and so we ended up in the gym a lot. He's not going to win the weight class or anything. He's a pretty strong dude, I'd say mid 5, maybe might be touching 6 on deadlift depending on how he's progressed it, but yeah. Brooks Trollinger. I saw this kid on Instagram and looks pretty solid. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't know how well he squats to depth, but he has a like 545 triple on his Instagram. And did y'all see the owl liftoff that KSU did?
Yes.
He did that, and I think he benched 350s.
I got
And
it. I got it right here. It was 340. Yeah, 340. So he went 540, 340, 520, and
okay,
that was a couple weeks ago. So
right, yeah. I mean, and his deadlifts, I think he posted them. They looked all really clean. So it looked like he had a lot more in the tank on his deadlift there. But I mean, I guess we'll see.
yeah,
So
So if I had to put
but
you on
yeah,
the spot here and ask, how far are you going to blow out this class? How far ahead do you think you are? On your best day, bar your injury, 9 for 9. You're that guy on the day. You win
if
the
I
meet,
go if I
obviously.
go 9 for 9, if I go 9 for 9, give me 1 second. Let me crunch some numbers
Crunch the
here.
numbers.
Um, let's see. I don't know Jacob Sutter. Don't know. Really, I think it's probably like second place of these people from what I know. Probably like Brooks or Jason, and let's just say one of them has like a really good meet and does close to 300 pounds, maybe. Ballpark 300 pounds is my guesstimate, but
Nice.
we'll see. That would be me going 9 for 9 though.
Mm-hmm.
damn, boat race
So
them
Yeah,
boys.
that's a
you
beautiful
know,
number.
Nah, but
I
you
mean
know
I
it.
mean
Now continue, Grayson.
I was about to say, I mean that with no disrespect to those guys, right? But that's just, looking at what I can do and versus what I've seen. I don't
Yeah,
know if they're doing more because they very well could be, and I'm just missing it. So, it could be less than that. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like too many people think of like this sport's very unique. Like it is like you're going against it's head to head, but especially at the local level, like everyone like you're coming in here to make sure you objectively got better from the last time you did it. Like if you're worried about coming into a local meet and getting last, like you're not in the right headspace to be attacking training appropriately anyway, in my opinion. So
I 100% agree with that. And I think a lot of people have this notion that to do powerlifting, I have to be, this strong. And that's pretty, I think that's kind of silly because it's just until you get up to, like you said, a very high level. If you're competing at the Olympia, if you're competing at collegiate nationals, raw nationals, that stuff, yeah, that's where you're trying to compete with other guys and you're trying to win your weight class, win best lifter, whatever you're doing. Like, right now for me, I think I'm at a level where I can say, yeah, I want to compete with, from what I know, Bryce and Jacob and try to win best lifter at this meet. But for most people, that's probably not the mindset you should be having going into a powerlifting meet. For the vast majority of people, because a lot of people well, they have Instagrams that are, I guess, lower level powerlifters. They only see Bob and Ash and Perk, and they're like, wow, I really suck. No, you don't suck. Those are just 1 in 1 billion people.
no, absolutely. And I'm obviously not gonna have beef with Bob, but that's kind of one thing when I watch some Bob videos that I hate, and Bob's like, y'all really don't understand. I'm not built for this powerlifting thing, or I'm not that good at this. I'm like, bro, you have much too big of an audience to be even saying that kind of thing, bro. Because that's crazy. Like you're the 1%.
Right.
Yeah, he loves talking about how trash his performances were. But
I'm like,
I
yeah,
mean,
bro.
like, it's all perspective, I guess.
It
Yeah, no, I
is.
mean everyone's. Yeah, I mean it's all like because I absolutely like think more people need to take it as like an athlete and like not just seeing it. It's like this little hobby thing that I do. Like the sport only gets better. It's like it's as serious as you make it, and like I believe it needs to be taken with respect, not just like half-ass doing it or not wanting to care about it. Like after my meet, I just cried. I cried for like 30 minutes with my coach consoling me. Like it's tough. I mean, it's not all about being a winner or a loser, but you don't like feeling like a loser. Like but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's always back to the drawing board.
Yes, sir. I mean,
But then guess we can move on to the 110s too. And we covered Bryce, and honestly, there's not much here to talk about other than Bryce. That's also
Yeah.
going to be a boat race.
Yeah, I mean AJ and Ty are kind of just trying to get a 400 dots, I assume. They're not really touching Bryce at all. I don't know Kenneth Gordon, couldn't find much on him. But Bryce is just moving to 110s just to put me down a peg, I'm just becoming one worse level 110
It's
in
from all those
Georgia.
times y'all see each other on campus and like y'all don't ever speak. But
Dude,
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna put that guy down a notch real soon.
I'm just an awkward guy. Yeah, I can't hold a conversation. It's kind of on me. But yeah, Bryce is gonna run away with that one.
I'm just messing with you, Elo.
He's gonna run away with that one. He's gonna be pretty light. I hope he can bring that bench to the platform. I would love to see it.
No, that'd be
I
make
would
him
great.
I
happy.
would
wow,
love
man.
to see 200 plus at this meet. And I'm competing against him, but at the same time, Bryce is an awesome dude and I want to see him do as good as he can. One, because that's what I think the nature of this sport should be. You shouldn't wish for people to break their spine on their deadlift and die. But yeah, one, I think that's how the sport should be. Two, 200 kilos is absolutely unreal. And three, it pushes me to do better. That's
Yeah.
what it's all about, right? That's
No, for sure.
everybody. It's all about doing better. And if Bryce is going to make me do better, then I want to see him do better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That kind of just
And then
covers
moving on to
110s.
125, we've got Carson Merritt here, a guy from around this area who goes up there from Kennesaw. And I know I follow this Daniel guy. How competitive is this guy gonna be with Carson? Because I also
Daniel
another Blue Mountain Christian State
He
University that I don't know anything about.
he's a sub 400 dots.
Daniel is not Daniel's not going to be well unless he's really put on a lot. He's usually a 110, but he's going up here to try and get the state bench record, I think, because with Bryce at 110, it kind of puts things out of reach. But so yeah, he went up to 125, and as far as total goes, I don't think he's going to fully compete with Carson because he is uh going to be reasonably lighter. And Carson is coming down from 140. So
Yeah.
he's going to be right on that, filling out the weight class pretty well. Sort of borderline. And Carson's not a bad lifter either, right? He competed
Yeah,
at
not bad at all.
he competed at the Open in 400 dots at 140, and there was I think his lifts have stayed. I think most of his he's kept most of his strength despite losing the weight. So I think he told me his bench took a little bit of a hit, but still for the most part he's right where he was. So he's looking to bring what he did at the Open down a weight class. So he's getting better and better.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say
he
I've seen him a couple times, and like he said he felt like he felt great, training felt good and everything, but coming down from 140, like yeah, you just expect a little bump down in your bench there, but if you're bringing the same kind of package, that's impressive. He looks better,
right.
it's probably the goal there. So
Yeah, he looks great, and he was down at the Olympia too. I think he went down there with Noah,
mhm.
and unfortunate performance on his part. I didn't see what happened there. I just saw that, didn't go how he wanted, which hate that for him,
Yeah,
It sucks.
it was tough. I'm not gonna sit here and spill
Right.
bros stuff, but I encouraged him and everything. It was big stage. He's like, I'm older than Noah is, and Noah hadn't even been doing this stuff that long.
Yeah.
He's a crazy good dude. Like he would have been another guy you'd be talking about, because I'm sure he'll be doing this, like the collegiate circuit we have coming up. So
For sure. He'll come around in that CNATS conversation for sure,
definitely.
because that's, if I do eventually compete at the same time he does, it will be there, I'm sure. Because if I had to guess, because he still needs a total, he'll probably compete at that Southeastern
I think he
Collegiate Cup meet at
qualified at his last
KSU.
meet.
And oh, did he really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he had like a
Well, never mind. So,
7:35 performance, I think.
oh gosh, you're right. No, he did like seven a
Like
lot.
almost, yeah, a lot. He like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. No,
Yeah.
his stuff blew up.
Yeah, you're totally right. I forgot. I forget that qualifying goes back like way back. Yeah, he
yeah,
definitely totaled, and he's in that. Like you said, if he was competing at this meet, he would be like a fourth guy we'd be talking about for all of the
Mhm.
best
mhm,
lifter stuff. He's right there in that conversation for sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, Carson, I know he posted his top singles heading into the meet pretty recently, and it was a 562 squat, 661 deadlift, and then uh mid threes bench. I didn't exactly catch what it was, but I think it might have been 341 or 347. That's my guess. So,
Yeah, no,
looking good.
he's young too. So,
Yeah, right.
but
And
then
then
I don't really know like about 140. Like Joshua, I don't know Joshua Jenkins. So,
oh gosh, yeah, I know Josh. Never mind, I'm an idiot.
but that's the
Josh,
only guy there.
he's the only guy there. Let's see. He's insane squat 650. Um
Mm.
Squat 650. He's a little bit of a subtotal guy. He out squats his pull by a little bit. And so yeah, he if he has a good meet, he'll have pretty nuts total. And he's not a full 140 right now, I don't think. I think
Yeah,
he's sitting in that I think mid 280s range.
okay. I just follow this guy. Well, I've seen him around definitely. I just didn't know that was his name.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I would expect him to bench somewhere north of 4 too. That's always exciting to see that. I haven't kept up with his bench and deadlift. His squat's his best lift, and so that's whenever I see him, he'll talk about that one more than bench and deadlift. But he'll definitely you know he'll squat something crazy,
Yeah, and
bench something.
it's a bit expected, and like in these last two classes as well.
Right.
S- not everyone is Jesus in these big weight classes, like even just proportionately, like it's just not as common as the other ones. But
Mhm.
then I also don't know this Dave Martin guy from Kennesaw, and
Yeah,
then there's another Blue Mountain State, but that rounds out the whole meet.
That's that is the meat. You're right. Wow.
yeah,
That's
but I
awesome,
mean,
man.
82, 81 lifters, I believe, 2 days. It's gonna be an exciting meet. Hopefully, me and Tony can be there. Hopefully, we kind of get on the stream a little bit, maybe talk about it. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not.
Oh
Dave
yeah.
Martin, I got the right
I
guy.
don't know what Eli's talking about. Eli, what are you talking about, bro?
I'm just talking. I
We're
don't think I
definitely
got the
gonna be
right
there.
Dave Martin. I'm gonna try to be there. I can't
Dude, and
find
the
it.
thing is I'm off Saturday, but it just sucks because I would want to it with it being a 2 day meet. I would want to see Grayson and Bryson them, but I'd only be able to see the Saturday meet.
Dang.
Mm. Yeah, it's for
Yep.
sure
Well,
gonna be a
me and
fun one. A
Eli will
good.
be there both days.
We will.
There you go. That's
We're
cool.
locking that in. I didn't even know I was going to be there, but yeah,
Apparently,
cool.
apparently you're gonna be there.
Going to be there.
You heard it here first. You heard.
Heard it here first. I'm going to compete. I'm
But
going to get on the
I mean, yeah,
platform.
Eli, Tony, you got anything you want to say? Like, cause I feel like I kind of like talked a bit.
No, I'm gonna go
I
to,
swear
up
you
to
did,
Bryce
bro.
tomorrow and tell him all about everything you said. See if he'll come on and try to throw some shots back at you. We'll
Yeah,
see.
there we go.
We'll get
Get
something
get
started.
get the beef stirring. Even though
Yeah.
me and Bryce are probably the last two guys who would actually start a beef.
No,
Yeah.
If you
I was
want,
about to
if
say,
Yeah, for real.
Bryce might look like the guy who like
yeah,
No.
started beef, but Bryce is a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
yeah, it was I remember I talked to him one time and I think he said it was me, him, and Ethan were talking. I was hanging out with Ethan. We FaceTimed him about something, but we got on and Ethan was going to lift with Kyle the next day, and we were talking about it. It's like I can't match the energy of those guys, you know, like Kyle, Chidera get crazy hype and yelling stuff. It's like I can't match that. If you want beef, go get Kyle stirred up about something. Probably, I'm sure
No,
he'll give you an entertaining time, you know. And
no,
I don't mean that.
I'm the same way. Like, no, I mean, I guess there's times where you'll like lock in and get more serious, but like, I like to think I'm in like this like good Zen mindset instead of being like over the top. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Zen, I don't mean that as a knock on Kyle. I just think because that's just how he is. That's his energy. He just has a really high energy level, and I love it. I think it's really interesting. It makes watching all of this stuff fun. I think that's part of what brought on all of the um like beef with
Yeah.
Georgia Tech and
Yeah, no,
KSU.
I
Mhm.
didn't mean it like that at all. I mean,
Right.
just like coaching other people, like different people need different things. Like, uh, or like Tony is more serious back there in the warm up room, or like listen to music, and like my guy Josh Zerlot is like doesn't listen to any music, and he's like talking to his friend or talking to
Yeah.
whoever the entire time, So there's just different ways to go about things.
Oh, I know the beef we need. We need Josh and Ivan. That's what we
I wanted
need.
to mention that. I wanted to mention that earlier.
Please. Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
because you know what, I'll talk about it. Me, Tony, and Zerlot were talking about it because I had seen an Ivan video, and I was like, "Oh yeah, no, dude, his squat's up there with Zerlot." And Zerlot was like, "All right, now like chill, like it's not up there, like."
Yeah.
No,
That's
Zerlot is. Yeah. I wanted to mention that earlier, but I actually didn't know if Grayson knew who Zerlot was.
yeah. I met Zerlot. Oh gosh, I met him and Jackson and a couple of others at Trueborn one day, and they were
He's
they
probably
were
talking about Easton and Lifter Jack for
yeah,
sure.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, Easton and
Those
the other guy.
guys. That's a. I hope they were decent because that's a rough crowd right there.
Oh, that was the most entertaining lifting session I've had of my life.
Mm.
Hilarious.
Yeah, but
Oh God, they were so funny. Yeah. So I met
do agree.
him there and I follow him on Instagram, so I knew who he was, and I was like, "Hey, you're the Zerlite guy." And I told Jackson, I was like, "Hey, you're that crack 75 at KSU, aren't you?" And he's like, "Yep, that's me." So and then I saw him at nationals. When I was talking to I came and talked to a few of you. Oh yeah, I talked to
yeah,
y'all right
yeah, for sure.
at nationals. So yeah, I saw him there, talked to him a little bit there. But yeah, I know Zerlot, and that would be really interesting because Ivan is, I think he's up there. He's up there for sure.
Hey, well, I'm gonna try to make sure my boy keeps smoking the rest of these 75s or whatever.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I hear
No,
you.
but not for sure. I mean, I had a blast. I don't know about y'all boys. I think we did a pretty good meet preview.
Yeah, we
Well, I
went
was
through it
gonna
all.
say, before I was just gonna ask, what we think the best team is gonna be at this meet because it's a team meet, kinda, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
kinda.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, I
So
forgot how it was
Apparently,
scored.
um,
I didn't really keep a score in my head, but
they're probably going to go by weight class, and they're going to say first in this weight class gets X amount of points. First in this one gets, and some descending number. So yeah, if you want to, I know nothing about these Blue Mountain guys, so I can't speak for them at all.
I don't think they'll be playing into the first. Hey,
Yeah,
I don't think they're real. So
color me riddled or whatever when it happens. But
right. And I don't know the total quantity of lifters from each school either, which would be, I guess, kind of helpful to know. I don't think KSU has enough guys and enough of their like they don't have Kyle or Jackson or we
Noah.
just talked about him. Noah competing. So
yeah,
that would have
I
been
guess that A team over there or whatever. So
right. That would have been big team points on their part.
no, and
And
then I I don't know if Classic City will pull it out with you and Jacob. And
well, right. Well, you've got me. The thing is, I think Classic City, just scanning through this, has more total quantity of people,
Yeah,
right? So, you could just play the sheer numbers game and they win off
especially
of
with the
that because,
women.
right, it looks like half the lifters here
oh
are
yeah,
Classic City.
I was about to say I don't even really know exactly how all the team point things play out because it's
Well,
never really intrigued me that much.
well,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
pretty
it's
sure.
not.
Yeah, like Grayson said, it's like first gets 12, and then like I think second gets like 9, and then third gets 8, and it just is like because
But
it's
it's
just
only the two in each weight class, whatever. Obviously, right? I mean,
Is it for team? I don't
oh
know. I don't know if that's an interesting
well,
question, right?
I
Because
just thought that's how Equal Power ended up getting the state championship back because of a because of the scoring. The scoring was messed up because of that.
it. I mean, it just. Well, I don't know what you mean by two in
Like
each weight
I
class.
see what he's saying because for the
Trueborn
CNAT's
had way more
qualifying
people.
totals, CNAT's qualifying totals, you can't have any more than two per weight class. I think
No,
that's what he's saying.
I thought that ties into the scoring. Like you just because this one club might have had all the 75s that they wouldn't sit there and take all the points for the 75s.
Okay,
They would
Yeah.
all I could be
but is
wrong,
that
but I
in?
thought that's how it's something that goes.
Yeah, that's probably that. It definitely has effect, but I mean, does Classic City have like all of their people in one weight class? Like, I think they're pretty
Well,
spread.
I mean, I would but just saying like if they're most of the roster in general.
Mhm.
I think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, based off of what I learned from state, because that was a whole thing. We had to like figure out everything with the points and everything. It just seems to me like whoever can like, yeah, like be across the most like weight classes and just get medals is probably gonna because yeah, you can have the best
That's what I
three.
was getting at. I don't like most people don't like that type of scoring system.
Yeah,
Like
but I
I've
mean
heard,
that's just how it. Yeah, that's just how it is. I guess I don't know
I mean, I know, but
because
like if we were sitting here talking, like me personally, I want like the winner in this context is going to be the side that comes out with the more impressive performances rather than
Mhm.
whoever actually has those points. So
okay,
True. True.
yeah, I
True.
mean I
that's what I was getting at. I would give it to GT.
yeah in that case I mean I think that's because they have Jacob, they have Grayson, and
Ivan.
Josh will win his weight class because he's the only
oh
guy.
yeah, Ivan.
Yeah,
Ivan will. Well, the thing is, you have Ivan, but Ji and Sequoia are probably coming second and third. So
yeah.
Mhm.
but it's a lot to think about. I think that UGA, it depends on how they do the scoring based off of how many lifters you have. But if they were to do it just completely, just considering everybody, I think that UGA comes out on top because they have a lot of people competing here.
Yeah.
And that's what I think, but I also think that I might go do a breakdown sort of deal on this meet after it's done too. because I don't know. I enjoyed doing the Kennesaw State versus Georgia Tech thing, so I might do more stuff like that.
No, that was cool, man. I mean, hey, the little USAPL Georgia journalism guy over there.
Yeah,
So.
who knows? But I think that if you looked at the average like points per lifter from Georgia Tech, it would probably be higher than UGA's. And
That's what I was getting at.
from that
But
standpoint, it would be, I guess you have a higher overall quality of lifter competing because you would have to say quality of lifter competing because you have to think if you're looking at the teams, you got again the KSU guys. I don't know if Georgia's got everybody competing here. There could be some people that aren't competing from UGA.
there's definitely not like guys like Turk
Yeah.
Webster and stuff.
Right.
So.
So, there's a lot of things to be considered.
No, but yeah, I mean, I think that's all I got to say. Anybody else or anything
Yeah,
you
I
want
mean-
to say, Grayson, or what?
I feel like we did a pretty solid
I
job.
don't